time is now 12 o'clock.
Time for news on MIJ FM.
It is time for the news bulletin on MIJ FM.
Glad you could join us this afternoon. Let's take a look at our top stories. The High Court in Lilongwe withdraws a case in which the state was challenging the unconditional release of Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary. Joy for over 17,000 ultra-poor families in Kasungu as the World Bank pumps in additional COVID-19 relief funds. In other news, fighting in Mozambique leave over 500,000 people homeless. Stand by for the details. Welcome back. The High Court in Lilongwe has ordered for the discontinuation of a case in which the state was challenging the unconditional release from custody of embattled ECG founder Prophet Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary. Earlier, the state was challenging the Bushiris' release on the basis that the two are wanted in South Africa, where had jumped bail. But in a twist of events, the state applied for the withdrawal of the case after Richard Chimwendo Banda, Homeland Security Minister, had signed extradition papers for the two. In his state argument, Steve Kayuni, Director of Public Prosecutions, argued that the state wanted the case withdrawn as now there is a formal extradition request from the government of South Africa, which Malawi's Homeland Ministry has already consented to.
What we came to tell the court is that the state does not intend to proceed with being heard on the criminal review. And considering that it's court-driven process, it's up to the discretion of the court to decide. And the court decided that the matter is withdrawn.
Why do you want the review application withdrawn when in the first place you were the one who applied to have it reviewed?
What you need to understand is simple. What happened in the lower court was not an extradition proceeding. What happened in the lower court was a situation whereby the state took the fugitive offenders before the honorable court, the principal resident magistrate, that they can be informed the reasons for further detention in terms of Section 42 of the Republican Constitution. At that particular time, the Republic of South Africa, the government of the Republic of South Africa had not sent an extradition request yet, a formal request, through the normal channels in accordance with the law in this country. Now, after the decision of the PRM, the Principal Resident Magistrate, the Honorable Court, the formal request from the government of the Republic of South Africa came through, and it satisfied all the requirements that the law needs. At this particular time now, the government of Malawi, after assessing the dictates of the law and what the law requires, a decision was made that the application fulfills all the requirements and that it has to come before honorable court. So there was a criminal review that was being undertaken at the time, and court time is taxpayers' time, and the courts too are logged with so many issues. They have a lot of work that they need to do. The fact that there is a criminal review which should be rendered nugatory or academic would not make any sense.
Steve Kayuni, Director of Public Prosecution. And in his response, Wapona Kita, defense lawyer, said they could not object to the state's request as they are in agreement with the direction taken by the state.
Basically, it was the state asking the court to discontinue the criminal review which they had filed with the High Court. So it being the state which filed the criminal review, we had nothing to say to that. It was their case. If they have chosen to withdraw, we can't insist that the case should continue because we are on the receiving end.
Last time after the DPP wrote that letter to the judge, you responded where you raised some objections in your statement. What has changed now?
Well, upon reflection of the whole matter, we thought it wise that there is no need to object. So long as the decision of the magistrate court remains valid and binding, that is okay for us because the court has not reversed what Viva Nyimba said in his ruling. So we're okay with that. Since the criminal review has been withdrawn, it means the matter in the lower court are intact. The judge cannot talk about that. Otherwise, she'll start reviewing the matter. So what it means is that we must all obey the decision of the lower court. If anybody does anything contrary to what the lower court said, then that will be contempt of court. And I do not think this is a kind of a government which would want to find itself in contempt of court.
That's the voice of Wapona Kita, lawyer representing the Bushiris. In a related development, Senior Resident Magistrate Florence Nsega Ndiwana has granted bail to 3 Bingu National Stadium officials who were arrested for allegedly stealing 4.2 million kwacha booking fees paid by Prophet Shepherd Bushidi's Enlightened Church of God, ECG. The 3 are Wongani Ngoma, Tokozani Chansa and Edwin Kambalame, who were formerly charged of theft by public servant. In her ruling, Sekandiwana granted the 3 bail, saying the police have recovered about 3 million of the 5 million paid by the Bushidi's church. The 3 have since been ordered to pay a cash bail bond of 250,000 kwacha, present 1 traceable surety, each bonded at 1 million kwacha, and cash, surrender their travel documents and report to Central Region Police once every fortnight. Over 17,000 people from Kasungu district under the Social Cash Transfer Program are to benefit from additional COVID-19 relief funds. The government of Malawi, with support from development partners, has been running the Social Cash Transfer project to support ultra-poor households for over 5 years now. And in Kasungu, the beneficiaries are now getting extra 5,000 kwacha from the monthly 8,000 kwacha allocation courtesy of World Bank. Further to that, the beneficiaries are also getting 12 tablets of hand-washing soap courtesy of GIZ. Speaking to MIJ FM, Victor Williams Nyirenda, Principal Social Welfare Officer for Kasungu District, said the addition of 5,000 kwacha, which World Bank is paying, has come at the right time, as most beneficiaries are currently purchasing farm inputs.
The targeted group for Kasungu District is 17,176. Now, that one, this time, we're paying about 17,040 while in the program. But they started March, April, May, but the amount that have been given this time, it is from September to December. Each beneficiary is getting about 20,000 because every month they were being paid 5,000. So since we're paying these 2 months, they topped up from September to December. So each one is getting 20,000 on top of the initial amount that is supposed to get per household. Definitely it has come at the right time, whereby people are struggling to buy fertilizer for any farm input. So with this top up, it has really helped the households that they will be able to buy farm inputs as well as manage this rainy season without much problems.
That's Victor Williams Nyirenda, Principal Social Welfare Officer for Kasungu District. Motorists in the country have been urged to adhere to traffic guidelines during the festive season. The appeal comes as a year in, year out, the country continues to register an increase in the number of road accidents during the festive season. Speaking to MIJ FM, James Kadadzela, National Police spokesperson, has urged road users to observe road signs to avoid unnecessary accidents. According to Kadadzela, most road accidents during the festive season occur as road users do not observe road signs.
During this festive season, there are a lot of things that do happen. There are a lot of activities of much interest are criminals. Criminals want to reap where they did not sow. So as police, we are watching them. We are watching them so that they are not given a conducive playground. Another area of focus, issues to do with road accidents. So we are focusing much on making sure that we have in the cities, in the rural areas, in trading centers, patrolling, engaging the community, so that people do not live in fear, and also that criminals do not terrorize. Our advice to Malawians is that all those that will be leaving their homes, their houses, maybe for entertainment areas, even going to the villages to see relations, they should make sure that they leave behind a reliable person to look after the home, to take care of the house. As far as road accidents are concerned, it's an appeal, particularly to motorists. Whenever they are on the road, they should make sure that their vehicles are roadway safe. So it's our hope that it will be a collective responsibility, and it's our hope that we'll have less road accidents and we'll have less criminal activities during this festive season.
James Kadadzela, National Police spokesperson. You are listening to the Midday News Bulletin here on MIJ FM and in other news. Attacks by armed groups in northern Mozambique's Cabo Delgado province have forced more than 500,000 people to flee their homes. At the moment, nearly half of the internally displaced persons are children. Due to the situation, UNICEF had last month declared a level of 2 emergency for the Cabo Delgado crisis, which affected Cabo Delgado as well as neighboring provinces, it said in the report. The level 2 designation crisis receives a prioritized corporate-wide support for the scale-up of an emergency response. Well, that item takes us to the end of our midday news bulletin here on MIJ FM. But before we go, let's have a reminder of the top stories that we had. The High Court in Lilongwe withdraws a case in which the state was challenging the unconditional release of Prophet Shepard Bushiri and his wife Mary. Joy for over 17,000 ultra-poor families in Kasungu as the World Bank pumps in additional COVID-19 relief funds. In other news, fighting in Mozambique leave over 500,000 people homeless. That is the bulletin. My name is Mwakiri Kaliande. Good afternoon.